Hey everybody, what's up fam? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. What if I told you that my white friend Rage After Storm was viciously attacked by the skeptic community for uploading a video about race realism? A topic that has been covered by Stefan Molyneux, Jared Taylor, and a new upcoming black female YouTuber, Just Thinking Out Loud. They also attacked my friend Blonde back in February and forced her to delete her tweet in reference to race. What do these two women have in common? They both are young female conservatives who happen to be white. You see, the skeptic community believes that white female YouTubers should never talk about facts in reference to race, or else they'll be called a racist. Yes, that famous word often used by the left to punish white people who dare talk about facts, statistics, and science in reference to race. But what happens when a black conservative defends them and agrees with their points in reference to race realism? Will they take the time to listen to her reasons why? Or will they consider her a traitor to black people by not only race shaming her, but also calling her vicious racial slurs publicly on Twitter? Taters, I'm about to share with you a story that is going to blow your mind. When you hear what I had to endure by people who I thought were my friends in the skeptic community, you will see that the people on the left who love to call everybody else a racist are more racist than the KKK, the Aryan Nation, and the Nazis put together. Now, before I get into the main subject of this video, I have to educate my white conservative subscribers, along with my subscribers who live outside of the United States, about the names and meanings behind a few racial epithets that are used against black people here in the United States. Now, these words are coon, Uncle Tom, and Uncle Ruckus. Coon, a derogatory term for black people, similar to nigger, originally a shortened form of the word raccoon, used in reference to the animal. The black eye mask and nocturnal habits of the animal paralleled the characteristics of typical robbers and thieves. The stereotype was then applied to black people. Uncle Tom. Historically, Uncle Tom was a black man born into slavery who ended up sacrificing his own life to save the lives of other slaves. But when this story was made into a movie, Uncle Tom was portrayed as a slave who gave his life for his master. Now, an Uncle Tom is a derogatory term to describe a black man who acts white and talks white, or who is a sellout to his own race. Uncle Ruckus, a derogatory black character from the cartoon series The Boondocks. He believed he is a white man but suffered from a skin disease called revitiligo, which according to him is the opposite of vitiligo, which is a skin disease that Michael Jackson suffered from. However, Uncle Ruckus believes he was born white, but as time progressed on, his skin turned dark. To prevent turning any darker, every morning he rubs ointment on his skin consisting of bleach and sulfur. Uncle Ruckus hates black people and does evil things against them in order to gain the favor of white people. In other words, Uncle Ruckus is the physical representation of every racial slur created for black people. These are resourceful words to use against black people instead of the word nigger. By using these words, it's easy for white liberals to conceal their racist feelings towards black conservatives who left the Democratic plantation and refused to go back. Alright, so now that I've explained all of that, Let me tell you what happened. On June the 25th, Rage uploaded a video called Race is Real. I watched the video, hit the like button, and then went on about my day. 3 days later, I began to receive comments on my YouTube channel asking me about my opinion in reference to Rage's video. Before answering these comments, I went to Twitter to see what was going on. Here's what went down. Derek, aka Some Black Guy, was outraged when he saw Rage's video and bashed her on Twitter by calling her a racist. This prompted others within the skeptic community to join him, and they gathered together like a gang to attack her. I was confused by all of this because I could not understand why they were so furious with science and statistics. But then again, I realized there is nothing skeptical about the skeptic community. These people are not skeptics. Most of them are irrational individuals who suffer from white guilt and self-hatred. In order to stop all these false accusations of Rage being a racist, I posted a tweet that said, "I support and defend this video by Rage After Storm." And when I said the same thing, she said, I was called a coon. I waited to see if anyone objected. No one said anything, so I left. Later that night, these irrational people gathered together for a live stream to attack Rage. They so-called debunked her video by focusing on a citation that she used from the Daily Stormer. They invited Rage to come into this hostile environment to defend herself. But when she declined, they called her names and mocked her. So listen to this logic. These skeptics invited a girl to submit herself to 6 people who bashed her, mocked her, and called her various names, including Nazi and racist. My subscribers know that I am the bully's bully, and after watching that train wreck of a live stream that the skeptic community broadcasted, I DM'd Rage, telling her that I had her back and to join me in debating these imbeciles. The following day, I received a DM from Rage thanking me for my help and agreeing to join me in debating the contents within her video against 2 members of the skeptic community. Now, while she and I was talking, I noticed that the numbers to my mentions on Twitter escalated drastically. When I clicked on my notification, the entire page was filled with my Twitter followers telling me that Derek called me a coon. I was in denial because Derek is my friend, and my friends would never call me a coon just because I defended Rage's video. So one of my followers took a screenshot of his tweet and uploaded to their feed. A black Twitter follower of his said, "I was a self-loathing Uncle Tom," and Derek said that I fit the description perfectly. Now, those were not his exact words, and I'll show you what he really said later, but it's important that you know that this was the ultimate betrayal. You see, we as black YouTubers, we don't care if strangers or people we have no connection with call us coons, but we do care about the opinions of our friends. I love Derek as a friend. I cared what he thought about me, and it hurt me to see that he thought very little of me just because I defended a white girl he didn't like. I was so angry and hurt that I made a video publicly challenging Derek and another of his choice to debate me and Rage. This video took 8 takes because I was so crushed by his betrayal that it was hard for me to talk without breaking into tears. Now, I must confess that I made one mistake in this video that I publicly recanted on my Twitter feed later on. You see, in the video, I said that Derek called me a coon. This is not true. Here's what really happened. When Derek took a screenshot of my tweet supporting Rage and tweeted it out to his followers, another black male responded to him by saying, She is a self-loathing Uncle Tom. Derek in turn says, I mean, this is the first time that term can be used correctly. Filled with feelings of betrayal and hurt, I went on Twitter to challenge Derek to a debate. So check it out. If you think I'm a coon, then you and Croy debate me and Rage on her video. Let's do a live debate about it. You're calling me a coon because I stand behind a video that hurt your fucking feelings. Are you related to Tariq? Debate us or shut the fuck up. 10 minutes go by and Derek is responding to others on his Twitter feed instead of responding back to me. So I tweeted to him again. Why are you ignoring my challenge, Derek? You threw the first punch by calling me a coon, but I will finish the fight. About 20 minutes later, he responds back. We asked Rage multiple times to defend her citations, but she said that we were triggered and won't debate children. I'm not the one who is hurt. Why would you be the one who's hurt, Derek? I was the one you betrayed. You destroyed our friendship, not the other way around. 40 minutes later, I sent out a tweet with my video publicly challenging Derek to a debate and telling him that calling me a coon hurt me. His followers started to tweet to me that I was being a baby and I'm too sensitive and butthurt for nothing. So I tweeted, yes, I am hurt. I am very hurt that another black YouTuber who I adored and respected considers me a coon because I went against his opinion. This alone shows how blacks, #NotAll, can never get along with each other when they disagree or side with white people. This is when my Twitter followers begin to call him a hypocrite. He had the entire skeptic community go after Tariq Nasheed for calling him a coon, Uncle Tom, and white supremacist supporter. But when I defend a video created by my white friend, he agrees that I'm an Uncle Tom? So after the backlash, he uploads this video.
What's going on, Tree? So first thing I want to address is I clearly didn't call you a coon and stuff like that, and you're reaching for sympathy points, and I do not appreciate that. I wasn't even the one that called you an Uncle Tom, and I just played off of that shit as to take the piss because of how crazy this situation is. I shared that because I was so shocked that a strong black woman like yourself saw this video that claims that black people are genetically inferior, and you saw nothing wrong with it. I'm not even sure if you saw her sources, if you checked them, if you read into them at all. I imagine you haven't, because that's the craziest shit to me. That this is basically discounting anything at all. Environmental differences, just cultural differences. Any reason that suggests like why black people are violent in heavily populated areas or their IQs are lower. It just boils it down, in her video that it's just simply genetics, meaning that there's no point in even trying to fix anything. Black people are just fucked. They're just dumb. And that's just the way they are. There's no point in trying to, pump more money and trying to uplift, the communities. There's no point in even trying to do anything. We're just fucking genetically inferior and white people are superior to us. That's what she said in the video. Her sources claim that as well. That's why it's fucking crazy that you're supporting this stuff. And as far as the debate goes, we gave her a chance. We gave her plenty of chances. Maybe we can set something up later, but I have a very busy schedule now. We tried to get her in to defend her position, but on Twitter, she was just saying the entire time, saying, we're triggered, we're not red-pilled. Yeah, dude, I'm not red-pilled because I don't believe that black people are inferior. We're not genetically inferior. Like, I guess I'm not red-pilled because of that, And, I'm sorry, but you can't take raw statistical data and apply it to, your bias, your preconceived notions that black people are lesser than. You can't do that. That's not how data works. You can't take this, hey, I found this data. Now I'm going to fucking push it on the narrative of the thing that I fucking believe. And that's what the Daily Stormer and a lot of her sources suggest. You look at her sources. I please, if you genuinely read her sources and you believe all this stuff, I don't know what we could debate exactly, because all we're doing is debunking her source.
He downplays the fact that I was hurt by saying that I was reaching for sympathy points. Then admit that he played off the fact that another black man called me a self-loathing Uncle Tom because he was shocked that a strong black woman such as myself defended a video that said that black people are genetically inferior. By the way, Rage never said that. Derek is making all of this up. I had no intentions of discussing my position on Twitter. My intention was to pull Derek out of his echo chamber and publicly debate about this on a live stream. After watching Derek's video, I noticed that he didn't accept nor decline my challenge to a debate. But I wasn't going to let him get off that easy. Not after the way he destroyed our friendship. So after watching his video, I tweeted, "Oh, now it's a joke because you got called a hypocrite. So does that mean you accept the debate between she and I? Or are you declining?" Yeah, Tree of Logic is a self-loathing Uncle Tom. Derek, yes, she fits that term correctly. He gets called out. Psych, it's just a prank, bro. Do you accept the debate? Yes or no? We can do it any day you choose so that you and your +1 can prepare. Just accept the challenge. Finally, he accepts the challenge and says, "I'm not worried about debating. We have science on our side." Not pseudoscience, haha. I'll talk to Croit though. Yes! Awesome. Glad you accepted the challenge. When you check in with him, let me know the date and we'll settle this once and for all. And then I posted this tweet. I like to apologize to some black guy. He didn't agree that I was a coon. He agreed that I was a self-loathing Uncle Tom. So much better. So 2 hours go by. Derek's playing around on Twitter and trying to avoid setting a date for this debate. So I tweeted to him, "Hey, some black guy, I noticed that you keep tweeting to others instead of setting a date for this debate. What is the date for this debate?" So once again, Derek's dodging, bobbing and weaving in order to avoid committing to a date for this debate. So Blonde tweeted to her followers, "Looks like some black guy has agreed to debate Tree of Logic and Rage After Storm. This will be an interesting debate. Can't wait to watch." Now he's still ignoring me, but when he sees Blonde tweets, he immediately responds, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't jump the gun. I haven't talked to Croit and T yet." You haven't talked to Croit yet? You accepted the challenge 3 hours ago. And by the way, Croit was active on his Twitter the entire time, so there was no excuse for Derek not to send him a DM to set up a date for this debate. So I see what Derek is doing. He's trying to get out of this debate, but unfortunately for him, I'm too clever for his games. So I went to Croit's YouTube channel, clicked on his About page, click on his Twitter link, copy his Twitter name, and sent the following tweet. "Okay, let me help you with that. Hey Croit, some black guy want you to join him in a debate with me and Rage After Storm. Do you accept?" Now, unlike Derek, Kraut responded back to me within minutes. He said, "I still need to go through the genetic studies." I said, "Okay, no problem. Can you give me an estimate time you will be finished? Do you need 2 days or 5 days? A time frame will be helpful." He says, "When will the stream be?" I said, "Well, Derek claimed that he hasn't talked to you yet, but I seem to have no problem. So he is the one who keeps delaying the date." So now I got Derek by the balls. At first he agreed to the debate, but then said no, not really, because he hasn't contacted Croit. He refuses to contact Croit, so I did it. And this puts him in the position to commit to a date. So I tweeted to him, "Hold on a second and let me find out for you and me. Hey, some black guy, I managed to find Croit for you. He wants to know the date." Derek ignores me. He refuses to commit to a date. So I tweeted this. The so-called cool kids gathered together and ganged up on a white girl spewing facts, but run away when her big black friend defends her. Another hour goes by and Derek is still ignoring my tweets and refuses to set a date for this debate. So I tweeted out this to him. Here it is, another hour later, and some black guy refused to set a date for this debate. He avoided contacting Croyd, so I had to do it, and now this. So his stupid Twitter followers start attacking me, stating that you need to leave him alone, he's busy. But I'm watching Derek tweet to his fans for the past 45 minutes on his timeline. So I retweeted one of his tweets and said this: he's spending time tweeting instead of grabbing his fucking balls and setting a date. LOL, he's avoiding me. He's running away from this. So finally, I figured out what type of tweet to send Derek in order to make him accept or decline the debate. If I'm a self-loathing Uncle Tom who defends pseudoscience, then why are you refusing to set a date to put me in my place? Brace yourself, folks, because here comes the bullshit. Calm your ego. We debunked her citations on Andy Worski's channel yesterday. Forgive me for not being super eager to do it yet again. Laughing my ass off. And just as predicted, he backs out of the debate like a coward ass bitch. So now I'm angry and I start to go on a rant. How arrogant of you, Derek. You quote unquote debunked her citations with your echo chamber, but you avoid doing it with her and me? Laughing my ass off. He says, we invited her and she declined. I have shit to do and this is not my priority. And I invited you and you ran away like a coward ass bitch. It was all fun and games until I joined in, right? That's when shit got real. He says, keep talking shit though. It's amusing. What's really amusing is how you pretend to be down with debating, but you knew I would whip your ass with facts alongside her. That's lols. I had to hold your balls to the fire for you to finally run away like a dog with his tail tucked in between his legs. Hashtag pathetic. Here's the deal. You all who attacked Rage After Storm focused on her sources and not her arguments in the video. You ganged on her. But when I come along with credible sources to defend her argument, you got scared. You know that I can back up her claims in her video. So everyone who watched the Twitter exchange between Derek and I saw Derek accept the debate, bob and weave from committing to a date, delayed contacting Croyd, ignored my numerous tweets asking for him to set a date, only for him to back out of it because he feels that he and his circle jerk of friends debunked Rage's video inside his echo chamber. So his Twitter followers begged him to reconsider joining the debate. Remember, the debate that he wanted. There are 3 black YouTubers who didn't have a problem with Rage's video. Me, Anthony B. Logan, and That Guy T. That Guy T tweeted to Derek criticizing his unreasonable behavior. That's when Derek uploaded this video in response.
Hey man, so I don't know who you're referring to, just saying that, oh, it's being just dismissed because it's just sources from the Daily Stormer. Well, the thing is, like, say, we've gone through the sources, they weren't dismissed. We went through them and we saw that the information was bullshit. It just simply is. Like, it discounts so many variables into why, say, black people in heavily populations are tribalistic or commit a lot of crime or whatnot, say, dismisses any cultural differences, any environmental differences, and it just has some raw data and says, oh, well, this proves that blacks are genetically inferior, even though it never made the connection. Looking at some of the sources, like when they talk about black people don't know the golden rule, they don't know how to follow it. They have no concept of time. They have no abstract thought. Looking at these sources, I'm like, wow, what the hell even is this shit? It has no basis. There was nothing to support that. And about the golden rule, if you look at their source where they got that information from, it's on Wikipedia. And on Wikipedia, it talks about other cultures and races and their golden rule. Where I'm like, well, how the fuck do all these other people have golden rules, but only white people understand the concept of that? It's completely disingenuous, and that's why people bring up why it's on the Daily Stormer, because they're leaving out shit to paint a narrative that black people are inferior. That's why people are mentioning it. They're not just simply dismissing it. They're saying, well, of course, this is the conclusion you're going to come to by going on a white supremacist website, dude. I mean, it's like, say, you're trying to support fucking chemtrails and you go to InfoWars to support that confirmation bias. It's as simple as that, man. You're still going to look at the stuff on InfoWars, but then you're going to come to the same conclusion that it's fucking bullshit when you do some actual some research and we look at unbiased sources, man. So that's what's happening. It's not, people aren't just dismissing this shit. Maybe some people are that are too lazy to look into it, but people that were genuinely concerned and don't like this type of narrative being pushed, me, myself, don't like hearing that I'm genetically inferior and that, like, basically, whatever, if I procreate, my fucking kid's gonna be genetically inferior and just gonna be prone to violence and shit like that. Gonna be prone to all this tribalistic just wave, lack abstract thought, or whatever the fuck all those articles said. It's really simple to debunk this stuff. It really is. And a lot of people already have done it or they're working on it. I mean, one of the fucking sources there was an archived post that was debunked over a decade ago. I mean, come on, dude.
The skeptic community debunked this video within their echo chamber. They refused to debunk it with me and Rage. Meanwhile, some very interesting things started to happen to me on my Twitter. I was told that a white YouTuber by the name of Nate, who has a channel called Nate Talks to You, made a joke about me using a racial slur on Derek's Twitter account. Now, because we have a lot of liberals watching this video, I have to give the definition to the term racial slur. The words racial slur means a racist term used against another person. Remember when I talked about that awful black character from the Boondocks series called Uncle Ruckus? Well, look at what Nate said about me on Derek's Twitter account. I didn't know Uncle Ruckus had a kid. Oh, like father, like daughter, right, Nate? Now, someone, especially a white person, jokingly said that about my black friend, I would put them in their place. But guess who not only found this racial slur against me funny, but liked it? Derek. Before confronting this white racist liberal YouTuber, I decided to investigate him, and boy, you won't believe what I found. He's a big liberal YouTuber with close to 200,000 subscribers. This white racist liberal did a video titled, "Is Blackface Racist?" And he does it in blackface towards the end of the video. The skeptic community, along with Derek, saw the video and said nothing. But take a look at his likes to dislike ratio. He received 2,232 likes and only 280 dislikes. So the skeptic community finds it racist when a white female makes a video about race realism based upon science and facts? But when one of their own does a video in blackface, they say nothing. Mind you, this video was uploaded this past March. That was 3 months ago, and they didn't attack him for being racist, but they attacked Rage. Why? Because she's a white female conservative. So after finding out about this, I decided to confront Nate. Nate, I saw that you accused me of being a child of Uncle Ruckus. Why would you, as a white man, say that about me? Please explain. 8 hours later, I didn't hear back from him, even though he was active on his Twitter account shortly after receiving my tweet. So I got aggressive with him in order to make him justify his racist actions by saying this. Nate, so you called me a racial slur on some black guy's Twitter, but run away like a scared ass bitch when I confront you about it? He says, I wasn't aware that the child of Uncle Ruckus was a racist slur. Is the character Uncle Ruckus a derogatory, belittling character for black people or a positive, uplifting character for black people? Based upon the comments I've seen from you, I imagine you like him. My Uncle Ruckus tweet was in response to a screenshot from you. So this tweet meant that I was this horrible, derogatory black person? Interesting. So I tweeted, so you think I'm an Uncle Tom who is a traitor to my race? And he says nothing. He runs away like a coward and refuses to respond back to me. So I move on from him and started ranting on Twitter about Derek. You see, he shut the door to have a debate about this. He pissed away our friendship and downplayed me feeling hurt and betrayed. So I had no other choice but to let it all out on Twitter. I called him names. I talked about his height, his sausage. I did everything I could to make him mad enough to accept this debate. And what does he do? He makes another video inside his safe space, and this is what he said.
So let me tell you why I'm not going to debate with Tree of Logic and Rage After Storm. So Rage, a couple of days ago, when the shit hit the fan and everybody found out about her dog shit sources that she used, about her race realism video, she pretty much started unfollowing everybody when they started criticizing her and her sources. And basically, she was saying that we're all triggered, we're all acting like SJWs, we're not red-pilled, and she said she doesn't want to engage with children. So, I mean, that was that. And then somebody told me that Tree of Logic was defending the video, saying she completely supports it. And I thought that was absolutely insane because, she's kind of, her, myself, and other black people are proof that say there are parts in her video that are complete dog shit, and parts that suggest that black people lack abstract thinking, and they have no concept of Western morality, and that the low IQ is just tied to genetics and nothing else, no variables in between. And I'm just like, wow, that's fucking insane. And then some people called her Uncle Tom and Uncle Ruckus, and I thought it was fucking funny because if you've seen Boondocks and Uncle Ruckus, some of the shit that's in that video are exactly some shit that he would say. One of the biggest disappointments is people keep using the bell curve to make their baseless claims. And the bell curve is just raw statistical data. And a part of it says that black people have lower IQs on average, and that's it. It doesn't explain why. And it reminds me of the wage gap, dude. The wage gap says that women earn less than men on average, and that's it. And then you have feminists trying to say it's because of sexism, and you have people like Rage that are trying to say it's genetics. Or I'm like, dude, it doesn't say why. You can't just say that it is because you want it to be that way. That's not how the real world works. And Tree, you keep lying and saying that I've been calling you a coon multiple times in the past couple of days. You've been taking those tweets and stuff and trying to backtrack and still trying to paint yourself as a victim because a couple of people called you Uncle Tom, and you're just talking a lot of shit, saying I don't have balls and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is not how somebody acts that wants to debate. This is how a 13-year-old acts. And I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the drama. Maybe if you would have composed yourself differently, I would have been interested. But you already gave me a preview of how the debate would go. A lot of emotions, and we're not going to argue the point. So I'm not interested. If you want to believe sources from the Daily Storm or from a neo-Nazi website, you go ahead and do it. I'm going to move on to bigger and better things. You have a good one.
More excuses from the Tariq version of the skeptic community and why he won't debate me in Rage. I was professional until you pussied out. Some black guy backed down because he is a prime example of low IQ blacks that are included in those studies. He's not smart enough to debate, and I still stand behind that tweet. So my Twitter followers start calling him out on how he betrayed me as a friend, and he tweeted this out in response. She could have confronted me personally. Instead, she took the absolute lowest road. I'm completely over it. I said, you had a problem with me first, and instead of talking to me about it like friends, your backstabbing ass took it publicly to Twitter. After that, his Twitter followers began to harass me. They started calling me racial slurs and threatened me with physical violence. And none of the white YouTubers in the skeptic community called him out on it. Not to mention that he tweets this to over 36,000 Twitter followers while I only have close to 3,000. So everyone who harassed me, threatened me, and called me racial slurs were blocked. But it gets even better. A black woman who's also part of the skeptic community who goes by the name of Patty Politics tried to pick a fight with me because I refused to watch another lame-ass debunking video from a liberal. Patty took offense to this and tried to pick a fight with me. She also gave me some indirect threats, but unfortunately, I can't prove most of this because she went back and deleted most of her tweets to me. But this is what I have so far. Why don't you misrepresent me in your next video by saying that I refuse to watch a video suggested to me? I don't mind being the bad guy. Oh, and don't forget to mention how I'm a race traitor, Uncle Tom, house Negro, and daughter of Uncle Ruckus. Go full Tariq on my ass, LOL. Ooh, she got mad. She started cussing me out on Twitter and giving me indirect threats. She was very triggered. Don't you ever fucking bring me into your drama. This is your last and only warning. Goodbye. Heifer, you came to my Twitter to pick a fight with me, but I'm the one bringing you drama? So I said this. Oh, I just caught another threat from you. The first threat, you are pushing it. The second, this is your last and only warning. You threatened me twice. Now back to Derek. People started going through my tweets and realizing that Derek was lying. They kept asking why the skeptic community gets mad when SJWs and feminists refuse to talk to them, but find it acceptable to refuse to talk to us. That's when I tweeted this. Lacey Green, I'm willing to have a discussion. The skeptic community, yay, Lacey is red-pilled. Black conservative, let's debate. The community, fuck you. This sent Derek over the edge and he begins to crack. So instead of agreeing to debate us, what does he do? He starts debunking us inside another echo chamber. Ugh.
Like, say, I saw somebody in the chat saying that, she's right about the IQ thing, you know?
I saw that too in the chat just now.
She's not. See, that's the thing. What happened, and one thing where she got her sources from, and everybody always uses the sources from, like, say something like the bell curve. They always use that shit. And then, like, I said in a Twitter video that, hey, the bell curve and shit and sources like that and statistics like that, they have this data that just says something like, hey, there's a lot of black people have low IQs on average in certain in large groups of people or whatever. And it doesn't suggest why, though. It wasn't until, like I said, Tria Logic got involved because she was defending the video completely. And I haven't seen her say anything disagreeing with the things like black people, you know, have no concept of Western morality. And I was really confused, like, why Tree would defend something like that, because Tree, she's an ex-cop. I thought that was really strange, and I couldn't understand why why she was agreeing with this stuff or defending it. So I thought that was really weird. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised that Tree was agreeing with this stuff. There was some people that called Tree and Uncle Tom and or the daughter of Uncle Ruckus, you know, Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. And I thought that shit was fucking hilarious, dude. So Tree took it. She took that and was saying, I called her a coon. She made a video about it and was crying. And she challenged me to a debate. And I was already like, what the fuck? Like, why are you crying about this shit? This is weird, you know? And then so people are asking me like, oh, you need to debate her. And if you don't, you're a coward. I'm like, oh, that's how that shit works, right? Yeah. So with this whole Tria Logic situation, when she asked me to debate, there was a really critical moment where I said I was going to talk to Crowton T, and I was busy that day, so I was going to talk to him towards the end of the day, which would be the morning for him. And there was no waiting. There was other videos and just constant shit talking on her Twitter. Yeah. And when I was seeing this stuff that I was tagged in, I'm like, I'm not going to fucking debate this. What the fuck is this?
There's no debate. There's no debate.
There's a guy that I really respect named Anthony Brian Logan. Mm-hmm. And he said, he was like, oh, because I said that, I'm like, dude, she's acting like a child right now. She keeps saying this crazy stuff, and people have went onto her Twitter and they've seen what the hell was happening, and they're like, wow, I understand why you don't want to fucking debate her, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I totally, like, it's fucking trash, like, the way that she's acting.
Yeah.
And like Anthony Brian Logan was saying, well, you should talk about that in the debate. And I was like, that's what the hell? Are we going to debate on whether she's acting like fucking rational or not?
Yeah.
Like, that's not what the debate's supposed to be about.
So now I'm furious because he keeps debating inside his echo chamber and not with me in Rage. He's lying, and because I'm not making any response videos to all his lies, people think that I'm the villain. So I tweeted, here are the facts. Some black guy wanted Rage to debate the community. When I said that she and I would do it, he backed out like a bitch. Jeff Holiday and I are friends, or so I thought. He would post on Twitter that he loved me and blah, blah, blah. But he was one of the people who attacked Rage in the skeptic community. I knew he and Derek were friends, but we were friends too. And for some reason, I thought that he would be fair and honest about what was happening to me. So I tweeted this. Hey, Jeff. Are you and the rest of the white liberals in the skeptic community going to watch and say nothing about his reactions? And just like Derek, another member of the skeptic community who I thought was my friend betrays me. He completely ignored me. But then again, I'm the wrong kind of black to him because he was too busy praising and adoring Patty Politics for attacking Rage's video. Very good, Patty. You attacked Rage and Tree. You're such a good black. Now who's my favorite little Negro? You're my favorite little Negro. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So while I'm creating this video, my subscribers tell me that Derek is in another echo chamber with another member of the skeptic community debunking Rage's video and talking lies.
Because have any of you had any problem whatsoever with all the videos we made about Lacey Green, Francesco Ramsey, all of these people? And we would love to talk to them, but they never want to talk to us. And Rage did the exact same thing. We asked her before we went on, like, would you like to come on and defend your position and not attack her, but hear her out and see what you have to say.
You wanted to attack her, Derek. You all did. It was going to be 6 against 1.
You have to be fucking objective and neutral about this stuff, and people are showing their biases completely with the situation.
You have no self-awareness whatsoever, Derek.
She, Tree of Logic, being an ex-police officer, obviously has a concept of abstract thinking and plenty of Western morality, and I think that is absolutely absurd for somebody to make those claims and then for her to somewhat defend them. And I haven't heard anything personally of her saying, well, I've refuted that, but I agree with IQ or whatever. And I'm like, we're not even arguing that shit. So what are we debating about? What are we arguing about? I'm specifically talking about this stuff that is specifically shitting on black people. She challenged me to a debate. She put out a video and she was crying because somebody called her an Uncle Tom and the daughter of Uncle Ruckus. And I thought it was funny because, some of the stuff that's in Rage's video are things that Uncle Ruckus would say, because Uncle Ruckus is a racist black guy that hates black people.
See, here's what you don't seem to understand. I would never laugh nor allow my white friends to call my black friends a self-loathing Uncle Tom or coon. Nor will I allow or laugh at my black friends calling my white friends self-loathing crackers. Why? Because they're my friends.
Like, they're just like, she could have even message, she would have added me and say, let's DM, let's message, let's something like that. I wasn't following her first because I didn't even know she had a Twitter, honestly, until somebody mentioned to me. They're like, hey, did you hear that Tree of Logic agree with this? And I was like, where?
Derek, you knew I had a Twitter account. This past March, I followed you and you followed me back. You unfollowed me for defending Rage's video, and I unfollowed you for agreeing that I am some self-loathing Uncle Tom. We communicated via DM and through tweets in the past, And here's proof. Here's a tweet between you and I during the month of August of last year, 2016. Here's a DM exchange we had during the month of September 2016. And here's another tweet between you and I on February the 4th of this year. You're such a fucking liar. Derek, I'm about to end this video because I have proven what a lying sack of shit you really are, but I do have an offer for you, one that you can't refuse. Since you keep telling people that you don't want to debate me because I'm going to yell at you, become irate, and or all emotional, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 85, 900, 950, 1,000. Here's $1,000. I will put this in an escrow account along with a signed contract stating that if I yell at you or become irate, emotional, and or irrational, you are awarded this money. However, you too will have to deposit $1,000 in the same escrow account and sign a contract stating that if you don't show up for any reason outside of an emergency, you forfeit that $1,000 to me. Here's the second offer. So that you are prepared, we will set the debate 3 weeks from now. That way you can read up on all the material to prepare for this debate. This is more than enough time to study about the subject. And finally, in order to make you feel calm, comfortable, and secure, you can bring your white female friend along to sit beside you for emotional support. You know, your lioness blanket. That way you don't lose your nerve because you're outside of your safe space. So there you have it, Derek. $1,000 will be awarded to you if I yell at you, become irate, or too emotional. The debate will be 3 weeks from now in order for you to prepare. And lastly, you can bring your white female friend along for emotional support. This is a generous offer, and it's going to show you how serious I am about having this debate. You have 24 hours to accept it. If you don't, then you are indeed a lying-ass coward. Accept the debate, Derek. Let's get this over with. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tree from treeoflogic.com. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. And unlike the other YouTubers in the skeptic community, I don't have ads on my video because I was denied monetization last summer. So if you would like to make a one-time or monthly donation, please feel free to click on the link below. See you all next time. Later, taters.